We have moved in to the house about 5-6 days ago, I guess you could say. Still trying to get things, you know, where they go and get things unpacked, and it's always a challenge. You always find out you have more than what you really need and not enough storage places to put it all. So even though I think we planned pretty well for that here, we're still lacking in some of those storage areas, but we'll figure it all out. Take you a quick tour of the house. This is the master bedroom. Of course, you've seen the closet many times and the CR, but everything's in place and working. Oh, our air con, which I love air con. Let's go in here. We've got the 2 spare bedrooms. One of these is actually turning into an office / gym, and it is a wreck because I've got a lot to go through in there. You're welcome to look, but it's a mess. So, and then Mama and Genesis' room and their CR as well. Powder room's here. We're hoping one day to get a little, this space is pretty large, and I made it that way because I'd like to get a bigger dining table at some point. But for now, we'll use what we have. And listen, the shades that we had put up, when I first saw them in pictures, I was not impressed. But in the house, I love them. They easily up and down. You can take them all the way up, out of sight, out of mind. You can have them to where they let some light in and also air, because we keep our windows open. If you shut them completely, you know, close them completely, it'll block the air to a degree, but you can actually adjust these to leave some airflow, and or all the way down to where it gives you total privacy. And we got these on all the windows, including the CRs and the sliding glass doors. The idea I talked to y'all about, where they were going to put the 4 panels on the doors, and we got that worked out and went with a 2-panel scenario. It's working out perfect. You got 2 chains, one on either side of the opening, not in the way, and really provide us with lots of privacy. Ours in the bedroom are blackout, so they completely black out that morning sun, which helps us to sleep a little bit longer. Jen and I both like to sleep, so yeah. That's the house. We still got, like I said, we still got some things to take care of. Trying to find a place for everything. Still got to get an oven, find somebody to build the oven into the kitchen. And we can get rid of a couple of these countertop appliances that we have, because those 2 appliances, actually this one item does everything that those do. So it'd be nice to have that extra counter space. Jen's loving the kitchen. We sit here every morning at the breakfast bar in our little bar stools, and neighbors go by and say hi and wave, and we have our coffee and our tea and breakfast, and it's just nice. It really is. I designed this kind of to be the focal point of the house, because they do a lot of cooking, and they spend a lot of time in this area. So it's spacious. It's got a good fan, good light. Good airflow, everything's nice, and makes it, I think a little, you know, cooking sometimes and cleaning and all that stuff, sometimes it's not fun. But if you can make the area comfortable, then at least it makes it tolerable. So I think we've accomplished that. Once again, I got to get a handle on this pool and how it works, but I left some valves in the open position because I ran the pump last night, shut the pump off, and didn't close the valves. And so when I woke up, the pool was about 1.5 feet less water. So I'll spend all day today, all night tonight, and probably part of the day tomorrow putting the water back in it. We got our internet in yesterday. That actually went pretty well. Got a real good signal. As you can see, the front wall's still not up, and it's not going to be up for a while because Rick Baker has to save up some money to make that happen. So after I get the wall up, then we'll start doing some landscaping out here. Can't wait to get some grass down and some bougainvilleas and oleanders and some things like that planted. Add a little color to the front. But just wanted to give you a quick run around here. The outdoor shower. You can see where our air con was installed. I love this little outdoor shower. I've actually used it several times already. And as you can see, the pool's down a little bit because I apparently didn't close something when I turned the pump off last night. And the back of the house, as you can see, we keep it open. There's my one little piece of lawn furniture. That will be added to at a later date. There goes Jen. Still trying to find places for, we had a lot of cleaning to do. The house was not clean when we took it over, so a lot of cleaning to do. And over here the guys are working on the solar panels and getting all this stuff together, so we'll just breeze through here real quick. This is all their equipment. Hey guys, Rick Baker here. So, where to start? A day before yesterday, I came to Cuyapo to, I was told that the house was ready and it was time to do the turnover. So let me just, you know, I always try to keep things very positive, but I think it's also important that you know, folks, you know, truth's important as well. So and again, this is the truth from my perspective. I imagine if you talk to 2 or 3 other people, you might get a different truth. Initially, you know, I noticed things, having been a director of maintenance and transportation for a school district. I'm very used to seeing things, little things, sometimes not little, but that people just aren't seeing. When I pulled up, most of the guys were under the carport, sitting in chairs, ready to go. And I understand, they've been here, you know, this isn't there hadn't been one consistent crew here the whole 6 months, but this crew's been here for about a month, I guess, month and a half, and they were ready to go home. I understood that. However, we needed to finish this right, and I'm looking at trash everywhere, garbage, basura as they call it, construction trash, broken cinder blocks, piles of stuff, burned plastic laying around, just not presentable. Not how I imagine, not how I would expect a home in the U.S. for sure to be turned over to a client that had been spending 6 months building a home. Came into the house, not good. Not good at all. Pretty dirty. Grout, which I've told y'all before, I cannot stand grout, but there has to be a little bit. I mean, the lines between these tiles are thin, but they still have grout. And the teams didn't bother to protect the floors after they installed them, which would typically happen in the U.S. You would do your floors last, but you know, there's still a little bit of time after you put them down before you turn over a home, so you put down paper walkways and instruct your teams to, you know, to make sure they're walking on those and protect the floor as best you can. So I made bathrooms, the CRs, horrible. Anyway, I looked at the engineer and I said, "Are you sure this is ready to turn over?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, I don't agree." And I shared with him just my initial assessment. So he got, people up and moving and picking up, and it just should have been done. Okay, I don't want to belabor this point, but it never should have been presented to me as if it were finished. So I don't want to take 6 months of many positives and blow it up in a matter of minutes, but I wasn't happy. And I think, when you own a business, and I had this discussion with the engineer. He's young. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be really good at this someday. But there's some real communication issues. And I shared with him, if you're going to continue to build homes for foreigners, you're going to have to do better. I'm very tolerant, and I'm try to be understanding, and I try to work with people, and I understand that I'm not Filipino, and I don't do things the way Filipinos do it, or have expectations that Filipinos have. It's just a different culture. I understand all that, but I am who I am, and I am paying for a product, and regardless where you are and how things are done, I think you do things to try to please your client. And so I shared a lot of that. I wanted it to be kind of a teaching moment. I'm an educator by heart, so I wanted it to kind of be a teaching moment. But I've just kind of gotten, as time has passed, we went through the house. Of course, you can't see everything in 45 minutes of walking through a home. It's just not possible. So I've been here a couple of days waiting on, Jen is back in Bungalow getting, we packed. We had most of the stuff packed, but she's doing some final detail type packing and trying to line up a truck. And then, of course, weather's an issue. We have a low pressure system moving through, so that's challenging. So she's working on that end. We didn't want to leave the house vacant, obviously. I already had chairs stolen out from under my carport while I was here, apparently, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a front wall, so it's just kind of open. And I guess somebody, believed maybe it was those chairs were available, so they took them. Anyway, I'm here hanging out at the house and doing things here. We had a refrigerator delivered pretty late last night, actually. I didn't know anybody delivered stuff that late, but got our fridge in. I've got an AC guy coming. I've funds that have gotten low, so instead of doing 3 ACs in the bedrooms, I'm doing 1. And if they do a good job, next month when I get some money, I'll install the 2nd bedroom, and may or may not even do the 3rd. The 3rd room is going to be kind of an office / gym, if you will. So I've been here getting things. I've been going. Oh, by the way, for example, they built us his and her closets in our master bedroom with no clothing rack to hang clothes on. Space for it, no rack. Had that discussion with the engineer. How simple is that to put up for your client? Anyway, so I've been in the hardware store getting things like clothing poles and flanges to put those on. I got the TV on the wall. Here's an example. This is supposed to be built in. It's just sitting on a shelf. Not acceptable. This is open, doesn't have any doors. I don't know why. I was told it was what was on the artist concept, but I looked at the artist concept. That's not what was on the artist concept. This, I was told they weren't going to install it because they didn't have anybody that knew how. I said not acceptable. I'm talking about the range hood here. I bought these things, by the way. I had to buy the appliances, and I bought all of them months ago, and they've been here all this time. In case the cabinet builder, before the cabinet builder started building, in case he needed to get dimensions of any kind and adjust cabinets accordingly. So, but apparently nobody did that. And so I just refused. I said, I had no cooktop. They didn't even cut a hole in the countertop for it. This is a built-in cooktop. So I said, you know, I was told it was ready, and when I looked at the kitchen, I'm like, no, it's not ready. So anyway, they did a couple more days of work. I guess they got some people in here. This actually turned out really nice, where they put the built-in cooktop. This, however, is, I'll be honest with you, it's a joke. They cut the cabinets. It's it's centered on the cooktop, but it off-center as far as the cabinets go. Can't even open this door. I was told I couldn't open it. I'm like, that's not acceptable. Can't have a cabinet door that you can't open. Cord hanging down. I've never seen anybody install a built-in range hood and then plug in above the countertop. So those are things that just simply are not, you don't spend the money I've spent to build this home to get these kinds of things. Now, I understand in the scope of things, those are small things. It's a pretty good sized house, and I think overall it's well built. Time will tell, of course, but I believe it is. Another issue I'm finding is with the pool. So I had a pool in the DR. I converted the house to solar, whole house hybrid off-grid solar, and I put a timer on my pool because I'm not there. Rarely am I at this place. But I never wanted to drain the pool because it degrades the paint and all this stuff. So I just wanted it to stay looking nice, and it's been for sale for a long time. So I wanted it to show nice if anybody ever did come to look at it. Put a timer on it. Timed it to come on at 11 when the sun gets up at its peak, maximum solar activity, till about 2. So about 3 hours a day, the pump ran and shut off. And that was all it took to keep that pool looking great. So I designed this one similar to that one as far as how it's supposedly built. The catch basin and all. I've been through all that with you guys. So the first night I was here, pool looked great, went to bed, woke up the next morning, it's 2 foot down in water level. And I'm like, whoa, I look over the edge, I don't see any water anywhere. Where did it go? So I go in and actually I messaged the engineer and I said, hey, this happened. What do you think's going on? He said, are there any valves in the open position? So I went and looked, and sure enough, the catch basin valves were both open, the return valves were open, and the main drain valve was open. But it shouldn't be a problem, because in the DR, my valves are always open, because again, it's on a timer, comes on and off by its own. There's nobody there to shut them off and turn the valves back on. So never been an issue, never lost any water. But I was told that the way this one's built, those valves have to be closed after the pump is turned off, or it will drain to the bottom of the catch basin level. So, don't know why. Hoping to talk to the pool guy. Maybe there's something that we can do. Maybe not. If not, then I will have to manually turn pump on and off. I had already planned for the solar installers to put a timer on the pool for me. If you leave for whatever reason, your pool keeps, it doesn't skip a beat. Anyway, apparently I have to shut valves every time I shut off the pump. I don't know why. I'm not sure what it is about this design that changed. So yeah, that's something I got to look into. So guys, like any new home, you're finding, you find things out, and you try to adapt and overcome, and I will do that. We still have a nice home. I love being here. I will say that first night, it was new home, new noises. I don't have any more roosters crowing. I don't have any more 20 dogs barking around me, karaoke next door, diesel generator going off, right outside my bedroom window. Market sounds starting at 4 a.m., trucks unloading and beeping, backing up across the street. All those things are gone, and I couldn't be happier about that. So yeah, the bottom line is that the turnover did not go as I had hoped. I don't know when they're planning on coming back. I do still have a final payment that I need to, the final 10% that I need to forward to the company, but I need to know that some things are going to be taken care of. There were other issues that as we were going through I pointed out, and made me a little nervous because the engineer would like tell somebody to fix this right now. And you know, when you do things in a hurry, because I knew they were all in a hurry. I knew all the guys were ready to go. So obvious, and I understand it again, but you gotta finish right. You gotta finish strong, and that's not what we got. Other than that, it's been really nice. The fans are working great, and all the lights in the house are performing like they're supposed to. So, yeah. Still got lots of garbage that was not picked up, lots of trash around the property that was not here when I bought it. So I'm going to start picking up areas of that and getting that picked up, and maybe start doing a little bit. I bought some plants and some planters, and I love plants. I love to see green things and colorful things. And anyway, I don't want to ramble on. I'm going to keep this, I always say I'm going to keep it short, and I never do. Sorry about that, by the way. I just wanted to kind of do a little update on the turnover, let you know that I am in the house. We will get things moved in here pretty soon, and start living life in Cuyapo. So, excited. All right. I told you, I've been saying actually that I'm going to do some wrap-up vlogs, and that is still the truth. This is not it. I want to sit down, go through the initial budget that we came up with back in November of last year for the house and also for the pool, and talk to you about all the additionals that were not a part of the build, and how that scenario kind of works, so you don't get caught off guard like I was. That's not something that typically happens in a build in the U.S. At least with the homes I've built in the U.S., that's not been my experience. So maybe I can save you a little bit of grief in that area. And then we'll talk about the final figures. I know a lot of you are asking. I'm getting lots of questions, and I'm just kind of asking y'all to hold off. I will go through this stuff with you. There's nothing to hide. I just want to get everything done and wrapped up, and then figure out what kind of format I want, if I'm going to do this in front of my laptop or just sitting out here by the pool deck, because I've got most of it committed to memory. But it might be better and more thorough if I do it via my laptop. Anyway, so I'm working that out. Look for that probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Just got to get things really settled here, and then I'll sit down and we'll do a wrap up. And by any means won't be. I still have lots to do here to make this place what I want it to be. I'm real big on. I love to landscape and garden, and all that's coming. It's just going to take a lot of preparation. So I'll vlog that someday when I get that started. And as we do little things, as we get our front wall built, as the solar system goes in, that's going to happen hopefully here pretty soon. I'll vlog that and show you the guys working, and because I'm here, and the system they're putting in and what its capabilities are. So might help some of you guys out, talk to you about the cost and that type of thing. So, all right, leave it there. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, hit the bell. We'd love to have you on board. The good, the bad, the Philippines.